You're watching today's video technical update presented by FXTimes. It is Monday, July 26th, 2010. I'm Fan Yang, your technical analyst, and I'll go over some developments in the Forex markets. The first global session of this week started with some risk appetite. The US dollar pretty much started to decline as soon as the week started, as global equities rallied, and thus it was not demanded as much as a safety currency. Japanese yen gained initially, but is struggling to keep those gains in the late European session and early US session. I will briefly take a look at the charts of euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Canadian, Aussie dollar, pound yen, euro yen, and dollar yen. This video is being produced at about 1 p.m. Eastern Time during the US trading session. Here's a look at the euro dollar, and today's the opening session's price action should give caution to the bearish outlook. The RSI here broke above 60 first of all, and you see the market has been strong since the opening of this week. We did gap down a little bit to start, but we closed that gap within a few hours, and in the European session the market continued, and now in the US session we have another rally now to almost test this previous high here at 1.30, about 1.3030 area. So we should see some resistance soon and see if this can continue the dollar weakness, US dollar weakness. Last week we had this sign here that the market was going to continue lower. We had this lower high, strong price action, but the market immediately reversed up. And you see the moving average almost cross over but failed to, so this could set up for a slingshot for a strong rally. Now looking at the daily, we see here several days last week of some reversal signals, but they were again there was more continuation towards the end of the week, and now we have another test of this 1.30, and really we're gonna have some resistance between 1.30, 1.30, 150 area, but if that breaks, then we are still going to have some short-term bearish outlook because of the stretched rally here. But in the longer term, we may have succeeded in turning this corner, and the euro dollar may be in the intermediate term bullish mode. For now, we're still waiting for that test. Here's the pound dollar, and we also saw the US dollar lose as soon as the market started. So we're again testing this 1.55 high that we saw previously. So over here, and we are actually breaking above that. Looking at the daily, you see here we are breaking this previous high resistance, but we're still in the resistance zone. We are still under this 200 moving average, and actually from last week this is the projection due to a positive reversal. So the suggestion right now is this rally to continue towards 1.57 area, 1.5650, before we get some stronger resistance. Okay, so that's the pound dollar. Moving on to dollar yen. So very messy over here. We were following this last week. We had a correction, then an X wave, and now we have a second part of this correction. So it doesn't appear to be over. Looking at the daily, we see that we are basically in this sideways action here. So wait for the market to either break above or below for better clues. For now, we're pretty much trapped within this ranging action between, between this high here around 87.70 and this low here around 86.30. Okay, so right now we do have some bearish action suggesting a two wave towards our previous low here. Okay, so that's the dollar yen. Here's the Aussie dollar daily time frame. We saw today we are basically US dollar weak, so we continue this rally, and we may have this swing projection towards this 0.91 area, which is just below 78.6% retracement. Let's see if this projection also, it's sort of a fractal projection as well. So somewhere here we should see some resistance, and we're just about 100 pips below that. For the 1 hour time frame, not much clues here except the fact that the RSI here shows bullish continuation. Here the market tested 40, continues to be higher, so very strong. The Aussie dollar is very strong, but it should be seeing some resistance very soon. About 100 pips more to go. Dollar Canadian dollar pair. Also, there was an earlier article today as the market tested this support area, and apparently now it broke. We may get some kind of pullback, but we already had a bearish signal here with the moving average crossing under and price action testing it and failing to rally. So that we have a lot of bearish signals. Looking at the daily now, those signals, we pretty much already materialized half of this decline that's projected, but the market should continue further towards the 1.02 suggested by this projection. Okay, so that's Aussie dollar and US dollar Canadian dollar. Here's the euro yen, and today we continue further higher to test this towards this resistance near 114. So we're at the resistance on one hand. On the other hand, we are breaking above this 50 moving average, but that's not really a very strong signal as your RSI is still below 60. So we are pretty much still ranging, and approaching resistance. So in the near term, we may be approaching something for bearish outlook. Looking at the euro dollar in the 1 hour time frame, so we see here testing of this local high at 113.30 area. We see another test recently, and that failed. But we're gonna continue tracking this pair. The RSI here stays above 40 so far, but it's also coming down below 60. So it looks like it's gonna be indecisive for today, and we're just not much of a clue for me to go on at the moment. So now looking at the pound dollar, here is the daily time frame, and this was the anticipation last week for ABC pattern towards 140 area, 200 moving average in the daily. So there's some bullish outlook, plus A, B, C, D, E could have completed this wedge. We could have another two, we could have one and another two waves before this rally as well. So it could be a 5-wave or 7-wave consolidation. In any case, if it's let's take a look at 1 hour time frame, and this is, we did sort of top off a little bit, at least in the short term, and for this there is a projection towards about the 134.30 area, okay, to test this moving average. But we are bullish at the moment because the momentum is showing us a positive reversal here. We had this bearish divergence, and you saw the market decline, so it's already materializing this decline. Okay, so this signal is already in the past. Now we have a new low in the RSI, but this low in the price is not lower than this previous one at around 134. So if the market stays above 134, we may still have a bounce at least to test this high at 135.60, or here we could break above our declining trend line and test 136 area. So this 136 and 136.40 area could be the next near-term target, and if that breaks, we could have a intermediate term target towards 140. Okay, that's the pound yen and the euro yen. That wraps it up for today. Check out FXTimes.com for more analysis, updates, and educational live events. Once again, I'm Fan Yang, your technical analyst here at FX Times, wishing you good trading.